to test ride the KTM 390 Adventure. But this is not just any test ride. This is one of the most tastefully modified KTM 390 Adventure. It belongs to my cousin, and you've seen him in a fair few videos. See, I transitioned on the KTM 390 Adventure, and this one's my cousin brother's bike. I didn't intend to start the video here. The only reason why I'm starting it here is because it's going to start raining, and when it rains, the GoPro loses its waterproof nature, purely because once you attach a mic to this thing, it's no longer waterproof. But that's enough about the GoPro. Maybe some other time. Not that, you know, I'm some tech wizard either. But yeah, if you didn't already know, now you know. Alright, so speaking about this bike, it has a bigger fuel tank than its smaller sibling in terms of height and stuff. We'll get to that. That is a 390 Duke. Now the 390 Duke was always an awesome bike to tour in, so this one just makes it that much more easier, because everybody that I knew that were touring in their 390 Duke had made modifications or changes to their bikes to make sure that you know, it could do the long hours on the saddle. But this bike is just perfect. The seat height is not really a problem because of how light it is. It has increased I think about 4 kgs from the Duke 390, but that's honestly nothing much. That's the stock bike. Now he's done a lot of changes on this. So he's changed the tires to the Timson button tires, which are super grippy off-road. They are not as grippy as the Metzeler Touran's tires are, because he is an off-road junkie. So but again, with all of these tires, you know, once you get used to how they move when you tilt, different speeds that you change, it becomes second nature. So because I'm jumping onto this the first time, actually, it's just absolutely a lot of fun. So for about some time I just want to hear the rumble of this exhaust. It sounds much more throatier than the stock exhaust for sure. And if there is a value for money ADV in the market right now, that is the bike that I'm sitting on. The riding position, the handlebar positioning is on point, and he's added razor just I think ever so slightly, so that it makes it easier, because he's a pretty tall guy, so it makes it easier to saddle when you're off-road. Speaking of saddling, let's try it. Oh, it's actually really easy, and you can tuck in your knee to the tank in this position. For my height, I'm about I don't know, 5'7", around that. Really nice, and it feels ever so natural, you know. The power figures, I'm sure that you guys already know. I don't really know what it was. I think it is 43 bhp, 37 newton meters of torque, if I have to wager a guess. But the travel on both ends is really good. The front suspension is at around 170 mm, the rear is 177, so that is almost more than enough travel for most trails. But we've been taking it on a fair few, and you know, he does a fair few trails and it hasn't bottomed out, or he hasn't had any issues so far. I absolutely love it when three equally slow guys are trying to overtake each other. It's just totally awesome. I don't know, something odd is I'm not really feeling too much wind blast, but yeah, that's up to 100. I've not felt anything. I haven't been able to go beyond that. So but yeah, I know that the last piece of upgrade that he's looking at for his bike is a slightly taller windshield. So essentially, if you're going to use this bike for touring and trail riding, what you would need to add is a pretty good bash plate, which he has. I would definitely swap out the mirrors, because that was something that he said it didn't give good visibility. And these Autec mirrors from Ram is just brilliant. I have the same on Optimus. It just works really well, and the best part of these is you can, you know, bend them, fold them, move them however it is that you want to. So that makes it easier. So when you're on a gnarly trail, you can always push these inside, and so that they don't, you know, hit branches and stuff like that. And then the other thing that I think you would need is a bar riser, because I'm 5'7", 5'8", 5'7". Let's go with 5'7". You know, for somebody my height, I feel that the razors that he's put is super helpful, especially when you're off-road. There will be sections where you'll be saddling on the bike because you have to. So that is something that I would change. I think I would just change the mirror and this, and of course get some kind of a windscreen, but I've not really gone beyond the 100 mark, so I don't know what the wind buffeting is beyond that. But I'm sure that there will be a fair amount, you know, from what I've heard from him as well. So this is Sebastian's bike. Of course, I transitioned from the city to a trail, and they have gone down to check out the waterfall. So I thought that I'll quickly walk you around, you know, all the mods on this bike. So to begin with, to take it to trails like this without a problem, he's added the tubeless rims from Art of Motorcycles, like the label says, and he's also put in the Formula X, so you know, it helps him avoid punctures. It's a sustainable model. I feel it's one of the best out there, and it's something that, you know, we're planning on getting on Linda's Scrambler as well. So apart from the tires, he's got this really solid bash plate, again from Art of Motorcycles. He's removed the push from the foot peg rather, and he's got a full system exhaust that is made by Art of Motorcycles. Ignore the bag for a second. This is the Art of Motorcycles, you know, a plate that you used to carry luggage, like he straps on his bags and stuff like that. So that's super beefy. He's changed his handlebar because he wanted that MX feel, and it kind of helps him when he's saddling here. He's added spacers. That is, again, it raises the profile of the handlebar. It makes it easier, especially on terrain like this. He's got I don't know what these are. I thought he had the Mad Dogs. I don't know if this is the Mad Dog itself. And he's got a Headlight Grill to protect from any debris and stuff like that. The rest of the bike, a few more stuff. The bark busters, which is absolutely needed in case the bike goes down. It saves your levers. The ram mount, again, absolutely needed. That, let's go this side. So the ram mount, absolutely needed. This is the light switch for the Mad Dogs, and He's got M1, M2, and as you can see, it's Powertronics. So he's running a Powertronics system here. So it has improved the initial lag, the pickup and the torque by percentages. I'm going to link that video in the description for you guys to understand, because he clearly explains it in his video. And since, you know, he's got this mapped and stuff, that would be the right person to get an idea from, you know, what he's done. So like, and apart from that, of course, the color scheme, he's wrapped it in matte black, which looks phenomenally brilliant. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, this, the RAM mirrors, this is absolutely vital. It's one of the best mirrors. It's probably the best mirror I've used in the market. I've seen in the market rather. I've seen a fair few mirrors, and this is the same thing that I'm sporting on Optimus as well. So the best part of these mirrors is you can adjust it however well you please. When you're going through narrow trails like this, it gets narrower as you go up. You can fold this thing in, so that you know, really helps. Oh yeah, the other big thing that he's changed are the tires. As you can notice, I'm just going with this, you know, as I see it, because again, this was not planned, and the one that I did in the city, horrendous. And then he's added the TPMS that you get on Bike and Biker, which is paired to your phone. Really good system. So it kind of tells you how much air you have in the tires, and if you're running low, it warns you. So the Timson tires, purely for trails like this, and he does a lot of off-road, so he needs those kind of knobblies. Apart from that, I can't really think of anything else. I know that I've hurried through this, but this is basically, I think, the best looking KTM 390 out there, and the most tastefully modified. This is purely my perspective, and not because he's my cousin, because, you know, I normally say it as is. I absolutely love it. And he's added a kickstand extender, which is again an absolute must have, because we go to places like this. So apart from that, he's not changed anything. Oh yeah, he's added the Acer base fork socks, so that it protects his fork from, you know, catching unnecessary dust, debris, and maybe damaging the fork seals. I need to do that on Optimus as well. So yeah, there you go. This is a quick walk around of the bike, and as you can see, the bike's name is Shadow. The last you know, modification that he's going to make to the bike is he's waiting for an aftermarket screen just to raise it a bit, so that on the highway the wind blast is taken care of. There is some wind blast on the highway, so that will definitely solve the problem. Apart from that, I think he's kitted out his bike really well.